Great.
Again with Eric Scopel with 247 Sports.
Kelly, probably exciting just to have it be so close here. Actual games not even a week away. Kind of what's the anticipation level? Cross your fingers first. But what's the excitement just of at least a game scheduled not too far in the distant future?
Yeah, it's a little bit surreal because it's been out there, and it just seems like suddenly it's upon us. And certainly in the last week or so, I think our kids have been amped up. It doesn't help that Nate keeps posting, 10 more days, 9 more days. So, but yeah, I think our kids are ready. I think we're ready to play, and I know that they're excited.
Next, we have Ashley Young with NBC Sports Northwest.
Yeah, Kelly, knock on wood that the game tips off on Saturday, but you played Seattle back in the 2017-2018 season. How much of that game film do you actually watch for this upcoming season, and what have you learned from it?
None. We won't. That was such a long time ago. They've changed teams, so have we. They play actually tomorrow against Portland, who's our hopefully our second opponent. So we'll get a chance to see them before we play. So we'll base it all on that. And, the honest truth, Ashley, I think early in the year, I'm not really concerned about the team, the opponent. We've got so many things we've got to work on to be better. I think that's where our focus needs to be, because a week from Friday, we open Pac-12 play. I can't even believe I'm saying that. So we've just got a million things to do, and we'll just try the best we can. I'm not as concerned, and I don't mean that as a slight on our opponent. I think you understand what I'm getting at. We'll worry about ourselves.
Next, we have Adam Sussman, KWVA Sports.
Hey, Coach. I asked Sedona about how she felt about being centrally focused in this offense after being out for 2 years, watching what it was last year. And she said she's going to have fun handling that pressure. Did you sit down with her at some point and have a conversation and say, hey, I'm going to put a lot on you? Or did you kind of just know she could handle it?
Well, I talk to her every day about that kind of stuff. And by the tone in my voice and the level with which I, shout, I think she understands that I expect a lot of her. And, I don't think I'm putting too much on her. I think I have a good grasp of how much our players can handle. And I, I'm not going to ask them to do more than they're capable of. And I certainly talk in terms of, we've got a lot of capable players, so it's not just going to be on her. She's just one piece, but I think she has a chance to be a real special player. And I think we all have to remember, like she said, I came in toward the end. It's been 2.5 years. I haven't really thought of it in terms of that. 2.5 years since she's played a game. I mean, she's going to look rusty at times. I think we will as a team since we're so young, but I expect a lot of her because I think she's capable of it.
Andrew Hobner, KEZI.
KG, obviously there is all of the other stuff to contend with, in addition to trying to coach a basketball team this year. Obviously in past years, you've never had to deal with that. So how do you as a staff deal with not just trying to coach your players and get them ready, but keep an eye on the schedule in case something has to shift and be nimble? I mean, how much of that is Rob's kind of purview? How much are you guys in on that? And how much, in a percentage of your brain, how much space does that occupy during the season?
Andrew, that is a great question. And yesterday we had a quick team meeting before practice, and I put on the board, be flexible. I think flexibility is a key word. We don't know. Utah, as we know, is out, and it's a couple weeks. Who knows if that extends into the first weekend of Pac-12 play when we play them. So all we can do is what we can do. So we've really tried to take it just one day at a time and just do the best we can, because tomorrow's not promised us. And it sounds cliche, but I think I know personally I've tried to stay off the internet because it seems like every day there's another team that's shutting down for 2 weeks. And you just know that at some point that could be us. I hope it's not, but I'm just saying that that's a possibility. I think that's something we're going to all have to live with. So let's just enjoy the moment. Let's do the best we can today and And just that's why, I crossed my fingers at the start. I'm hopeful that we play Saturday. If you're a praying person, pray for it, But the reality is, we don't know. But we're doing our best to build team, to have fun at this thing, to obviously teach. But, one of the things, Andrew, that we've been denied this year is the ability to really build cohesion off the court, chemistry. That's been one of our biggest strengths, I think, a team that really loves each other on and off the court. And we can't even meet together. We can't even eat meals together, as crazy as that sounds. And that's where you build really good memories and a tight-knit unit. So we're doing the best we can under the circumstances.
Ryan Thorburn, register guard.
Kelly, how unique of a player is Sedona? She was saying that, if you double team her, that's a mistake on your part. She's going to find what you've described as your best shooting team. And I imagine if you don't double team her, that could be a mistake too. Just how unique of a threat is she going to be for you guys?
Well, she's unlike anybody that I've ever coached, certainly. I think she has the ability to score in and out. What I'm most impressed with is just her ability to pass the ball, to understand who's open and when, and she can get in the ball. She's really good out of the high post. You have to honor the shot from, 16 to 18 feet, or she's going to knock it down. She's a really, really good shooter. In fact, today we had a three-point drill. She scored as well as a lot of the guards. So, she's got the ability to step out and do that. I would prefer, and I wish she would get down to the block a little bit more and be a tough as nails player around the rim. She likes to float a little bit, but she's a threat inside and out, and she's going to be a load for people to guard. And she's still got a lot of work to do, and she's going to get stronger and more comfortable. And I've made some lofty comparisons to some NBA guys, and it's just not hyperbole. I really think she's got that about her. She's just got a unique skill set and great hands. Man alive. Post players always say they got to have two things, hands and heart. She's got a big heart, and she's got great hands. So she'll be a load.
Next, we have Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Taylor was saying earlier, one of the keys this offseason has just been everybody kind of finding their niche. How difficult has that been to do, though, given the circumstances? And obviously you aren't going to set anything in stone from a rotation or starting lineup perspective now, but how difficult has it been to parse through that and kind of figure out how you're going to handle that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's a day-to-day event. It's a work in progress, Eric. Seriously, I just don't know how it's going to work out. I've always been a fan, and if you look at my history, I like to set a lineup and go with it. I like people to know when they're going to come in off the bench, kind of make it a routine. That's not going to be the case this year. Right now, that's not the case. I think we've got 7 or 8 players that could start, and I've never worried about who starts the game. It's who finishes that really matters. I think our lineups is going to be fluid. I think right now we're pretty solid all throughout, and we haven't had a ton of separation yet. So that's why I told him yesterday in that team meeting, find a niche, do something better than anybody else. Right now, Maddie Shear has created a niche for herself. She's our best on-ball defender. And it's not even close. She is our best on-ball defender. So if we need a lockdown kind of defender, she's earned the right to be in that position. I talked to somebody like Kylie Watson, who's so athletic and aggressive and strong. She could be the best rebounder in the conference. So she's got to focus on going every time to the boards. So that's what I talk about. Create a niche. Be the best at something. And then that makes it hard for the coach to keep you off the floor. If you don't do anything all that well and you don't distinguish yourself differently from others, then you're easy to keep on the bench.
Up next, Rob Mosley, Go Ducks.
Sedona is predicting it's going to be emotional for herself and for Niara. What do you want them to get out of just Saturday's game?
Well, I hope they don't cry on the court. I know it will be that way. I'll have to send them to the locker room, but I understand it. Yes, it will be. It's been a long road for them. Just think of what Sedona has gone through with, some litigation, that's well known. I'm not saying anything that I think isn't out there. The transfer from Texas, breaking her leg the way she did, competing for USA, and just on and on and on. And she's had setbacks even here, along the road. So, it's going to be a lot. And just to think of Niara, 2 ACLs before she's had a chance to play. So, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, I think the joy that we're going to see is going to be much more worth watching on those days. It'll be bittersweet, I'm sure.
Andrew Hopner, KEZI.
We've talked a bit about the guards and some of the rotations that you could potentially have for this year. Among your freshmen, what has Tahina shown, and Maddie, and some of these guards, and how much, I guess, in the early going here against teams that you can afford to maybe experiment a bit, how much burn do you think some of those true freshmen might get?
Again, it's still fluid, but I think Tahina Paupau's really separated herself as one of our best guards. I mean, I think she's got a chance to be really, really good for us. We don't have a ton of true point guards. She's one of them. Jazz Shelley's not really by trade a point guard. Neither is Taylor Chavez, and Maddie Shear, I think, has some of that ability to play point. But Tahina's really our only true point. Which is fine. Sabrina wasn't a true point guard, but she played a pretty good one on TV for 4 years. But, we'll just I think we just have a lot of flexibility there in the backcourt. And you'll see lots of different combinations. Sid Parrish, I think, has had a great 2 weeks of practice. She's really starting to distinguish herself as well. Taylor Mikesell's been pretty consistent. She's a deadeye. And Jazz Taylor give us, a lot of the qualities that you've already seen. So I just named 6 guards, that have earned playing time and will play. So we're going to go deep. It'll be a deep rotation. I think that will do us well in the long term. And not to mention Erin Boley. She's going to play a lot at the 3 for us. Right now, she's been our best player from day one to day, whatever it is today. She's our best player right now.
Eric Gunderson, AP. You're muted, Eric.
Kelly, sorry about that again.
Come on, rookie.
Yeah, hey, I'm sorry about that. But hey, so I did want to ask about, you talked about how it's going to be bittersweet for Sedona and Niara to get back on the floor, but obviously it has to be a little bit bittersweet getting back to this season and getting back to basketball and camp and all that stuff, knowing that last season kind of got stopped when it was such a special season. I mean, how do you feel about that personally? And how were you able to kind of get through that and focus on this team and this year and what you guys have in front of you, even though it's a little uncertain at the moment as well?
Well, we'll never get over that. That will always, that left a hole in our heart forever. And in our brand new offices here, right next to Matthew Knight Arena, we actually have a trophy case that goes down the center of our offices, and we have left a platform blank. With unfinished business, and it's a place that we will keep blank until we're fortunate, we hope, someday to win a national championship. But that will always be with us. But we're not going to let it define us, right? We jumped right back up on the horse, and we're going to get going this year. And so we've put it behind us to some degree, but we'll use that lesson again to reiterate to our players, and I say it all the time, especially when I hear about somebody being injured. You just never know. You have to appreciate every moment. You have to love your teammates each and every day, get the best out of what you have each day, because tomorrow's not guaranteed you. And, we try to live by that. But we're moving on to a large degree. And this is a new team. I only have 4 returners, that went through that. But every time I see Sabrina, I'll think, gosh, what if, and Ruthie, I see all their successes. I posted on Twitter yesterday a 15-minute video that is well worth watching. And if you watch that and after that say, wow, that's not a team that would have won a national championship, then I would say you're crazy. You're crazy, because we had it in place, everything, including that bond that you need. It's well worth it. It'll inspire you, I think, even if you're not a Ducks fan.
Thanks, Kelly.
Ryan Thorburn, register guard.
Kelly, how strange is it going to be able to hear the shoes squeaking and all that stuff when normally it's so loud at Matthew Knight Arena for you guys?
I know. It's funny as coaches when we talked about, the having in-house noise. I wanted to be a smart aleck and say, now, are we going to do Matthew Knight Arena noise at home, or it's different in some of the other venues in the Pac-12. But I guess we're all going to be playing it at the same level, whatever that is. Yes, we're going to miss a great home crowd. We've been really good at home because we get such great support, and we're going to miss that. My voice will carry a lot more, unfortunately, with an empty gym. So I got to watch my language and my sarcasm, and I got to do a better job in that regard. So maybe this will be a good thing for me. We'll see. We'll see. And this mask is not going to drown out the sound, unfortunately.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Kelly, I wonder if you could expand a little bit upon your comments on the 2021 recruiting signees, Taylor and Philly, that I just spoke with yesterday. But can you kind of run through what you see from those two and the excitement to have those join your program?
Yeah, we're really happy. I mean, we didn't need much, obviously. We're very young. I mean, we have 7 freshmen on the roster. I don't think all 7 will be around for 4 years because a couple might end up going pro a little early after they get their degrees. But we didn't need a lot, but so we set a really high bar, and I think both have fit it. Taylor Bigby, we talked about creating a niche. We don't have a player like Taylor Bigby. She's somebody that's long, athletic, really good defender, and is excellent in transition. She's going to be able to really push the tempo and then put pressure on other teams. So she's going to be a unique player. And then, Filipina, there aren't very many players walking around like her either. And they're both super nice young women that want to compete and want to get better. So they fit that part of our culture. But Philly, let's face it, she's going to be 6'8" the whole game, and she's only 3 years into it and is already very, very talented. She wants to be a pro, and I think she's the kind of person that's going to work hard at becoming it. So, I think this is I don't really care where a class is ranked. We were number 1 last year. I didn't care about that. We got the right players wherever they're ranked. It didn't matter. And this same way with these guys. So I'm excited. This past week was a good week for us. We got what we needed in the class.
Hayden Herrera, NBC 16.
Kelly, I'm sure the parents of all of your student athletes are very, wanting to know what's going on with everything, testing, traveling. Does it help, as the parent of a Division I athlete? Does that kind of maybe ease parents' concerns as you guys go into the season? And could you give us a scouting report for number 35 this season?
Okay. Let's see. The parents, one thing the university's done a great job is communicating. Ever since this COVID hit, especially starting in early summer, there was constant contact between our department, administration, and the parents. And most of our parents were involved and dialed into those Zooms, et cetera. My staff, especially Jody Berry, is great at communicating with the parents. And so you guys know me. I'm about communication, about being honest. And we've been right up front and honest with our parents the whole time. So I think it's been a collaborative effort. I think people feel good about where their kids are. When the fires hit and we had to shut down, we sent our players home. They were getting those alerts like we all were on our phones, even though the fires are a long way away. It can be a little frightening, and they were a little spooked. And so we thought, you know what? We sent them home, and we got them to Portland, and then they all went home from there. And I think the parents really appreciated that. And I thought that was they saw that as, hey, they're going to take care of my daughter when they're there. Now, what was number 35 question?
Oh, just what's the outlook for number 35 look this season as the Zags get ready to start?
Oh, the Zags number 35. Yeah, let's go. Well, hey, Will is excited. He's in Florida. They've, I guess, they're semi-quarantined down on the beach somewhere, I'm sure, and he's probably getting some beach time. I hope that, hey, listen, he's on the #1 team in the country. And, I know he's working hard to try and get some playing time, but either way, he's smart enough to realize he's part of something special, and he's going to work hard every day to impact the team in any way he can. But I'm excited for Thursday because I think they play Kansas on Thursday right after the Cowboys game. So, boy, we would love nothing more than a Cowboys loss and a Zag victory on Thursday. Yeah, I said it, Mosley. Don't perk up. I said it.
It's Brielle's squad. You're not making any friends in this household.
Hey, and you can't make fun of a first-place team, 3-6-1, first in the division.
You can make fun of that.
Yeah, you can. I guess so. But the Watsons are Eagles fans, and Kylie Watson's dad's a lot bigger than I am, and I know he loves the Eagles, so I'm not going to say anything negative about them. He could break me in half.
Coach, our last question is from Ashley Young with NBC Sports Northwest.
That kind of goes along with my question here, but what does the Graves family household look like on Thursday for Thanksgiving?
Well, Ashley, I've gotten back on the food wagon, so I'm watching myself. So I'm going to have to pass on the bread dressing or stuffing. We call it dressing. The gravy. Dang it. All the good stuff, basically all the good stuff. But no, it'll be a good spread. My wife is Lebanese, and so our food has a Middle Eastern kind of flair to it, and it's awesome. The lamb, rice, cinnamon stuffing inside the turkey's phenomenal. So, yeah, I'm sold on that. But it'll be fun. We're going to keep it small. I want everybody to do the same. Let's be smart. We see the numbers spiking. Now they're maybe going down a little bit, but gosh, we got this holiday. I'm really afraid. And people forget it's not just the athletes. It's not up to just the athletes and coaches to get these games in. It's up to the general public. And if the public isn't taking care of business, that's gonna pass on down to the athletes, and then we may miss our season. So let's do the right thing. Small groups. Eat a lot, small groups.
Thank you, Coach.
You guys are the best. I like this. Is this how we're going to do it for the rest of the year?
Could be like this for a while.
This is nice.
Well, nice
let's make the screens bigger on some of your faces and smaller on others. All right.
AJ, you can just tell me to turn my video off. It's cool.